Hey there folks, Chris here with the 4K release of the epic Mad Max Anthology, which includes Mad Max from 1979, The Road Warrior from 1981, Beyond Thunderdome from 1985, and Mad Max Fury Road from 2015, all together for the very first time in 4K. So let's start things off with the first film, which stars Mel Gibson. And this was given a 4K DI and the picture quality looks excellent. And I don't have the exact specifics, but looks like they went with a new transfer, not the one that Kjell Nilsson put out in 4K. But as I said, the print is excellent with natural lifelike colors that pop, especially the yellow color on the car, and black glows are deep. And the grain is intact, although some may find it slightly overpowering, but personally, I think it looks fantastic, and it's sharp practically throughout the whole film. There are some minor moments of softness in some scenes, but overall, this is a beautiful transfer. And this includes both the DTS 5.1 and the original theatrical mix. And for this review, I went with the 5.1, which sounded great. It's pretty dynamic. I found it well mixed, especially when the bass kicks in, and the dialogue remained crisp and clear throughout. So I'm rating this a 4.5 out of 5 for both the picture and sound. And for bonus content, unfortunately, there aren't any. But the Kjell Nilsson edition has plenty of features, so I recommend that release if you don't own it yet. And now for the second film, Mad Max 2, better known as The Road Warrior. Another solid presentation, although I didn't care much for the night scenes during Chapter 5. It just didn't look all that impressive in 4K. It's during the daytime scenes where this print thrives, and it's a very film-like presentation with the grain intact, but it's a very thin layer, not overpowering. And I found black glows deep to the right degree. And although I did detect a bit of softness in some scenes, but the main majority of the print is pretty sharp, which showcases plenty of detail on various objects to close-ups on faces and hair. And this includes a variety of audio tracks, the Dolby Atmos, the English 5.1, and the original theatrical mix. And I found the Atmos track very engaging with plenty of deep bass and overhead kicking in during the action. For a film from the 80s, it's one loud mix that delivers the goods. So I'm rating this one a 4.5 out of 5 for the picture and a 5 for the sound. And for bonus content, you get a few stuff, one of which is a vintage introduction by film critic and author Leonard Maltin, plus Road War, the making of the Road Warrior, and a commentary with director George Miller and Dean Semler. Next up, Beyond Thunderdome. And honestly, I wasn't as impressed with the transfer for the third film. Sure, close-ups look pretty decent on faces and clothing at times, but judging it as a whole, the image has a bit of a soft look to it, even somewhat DNR'd at times. It doesn't have that wow factor, almost like watching a Blu-ray version of the film rather than 4K, which is disappointing, but sure, there are moments during daytime scenes that showcases nice clarity, but it's not very consistent. And I found colors and black glows more on the moderate side. And this includes the Atmos track, along with the English 5.1 and the original theatrical mix. And for this review, I went with the Atmos, which sounded pretty damn good. It's very engaging, although I enjoyed the Atmos track on The Road Warrior a bit better. But this mix still delivers plenty of bass while remaining crisp and clear throughout. So I'm rating this a 3.5 out of 5 for the picture and a 4.5 for the sound. And for features, unfortunately there aren't any. But what a fun film. Tina Turner really stole the show for me in this. She was pretty badass. And finally, Mad Max Fury Road. What a film, the epic conclusion of this anthology, which was given a 2K DI, and it's the same print from the previous 4K release, which looks great in terms of colors over the Blu-ray, but not by much. And it's not a very sharp image. Sure, close-ups look good at times, but it's not consistent, mainly due to the fact that it's an upgrade to 4K. But this definitely delivers in terms of sound, that's for sure. Very immersive with plenty of deep bass and overhead with the Atmos track, and it's one of the best sounding mixes I've heard. And for those of you who might be curious, the black and chrome version for Fury Road is not included, and you don't get any bonus content. So I'm rating this film a 3.5 out of 5 for the picture and a 5 for the sound. So closing on my review, this comes as a worthy pickup if you can get it for a good deal, but it's disappointing. It barely has any bonus features except for the stuff I mentioned for the Road Warrior, and the presentation for Beyond Thunderdome not being all that great. And as usual, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.